Hello, I hope this intro doesn't give you a jump scare, but if it does, this is Brittany. As you can tell, I'm quite sick. My voice is not podcast ready. So, instead of dropping the next shadow work episode, I will be waiting on that another week until I sound better so that you guys don't have to sit through an entire episode of that. I did, however, a couple weeks ago record a bonus episode that I didn't know when I was going to drop it. I guess the universe made me record it in the first place so that it could fit right here. So I hope that you enjoy this bonus/regular episode. I am really sorry for any inconvenience, and thank you so much for your understanding. Now on to the podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Witchy Ways for Modern Days. This is Brittany, and today's episode is actually a bonus. So this is not actually part of the main content for the podcast. We have been very deep diving into shadow work, and I didn't want to put this episode in between any of those because I didn't want to interrupt, and I also am honestly not quite sure many people are going to care about this one. It's something that is fascinating and very dear to me. That does not mean anybody else is going to like this. So I'm going to be honest with myself and say, hey, this podcast episode might just be fulfilling my wants. I hope it resonates with somebody, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's okay. That's totally fine. But anyway, this is going to be available as a full free episode for everybody. And I hope that someone can get something from it, because it is a very, very powerful manifestation tool, a spell, if you will, that literally anybody can be doing. Literally anybody. But anyway, enough bearing the lead, Brittany. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about songs as spells. Now, songs function as spells. And I know that sounds kind of wacky, all right? So bear with me a moment. So whether or not a song is intentionally crafted a certain way, intentionally crafted and written as an incantation or as a spell, music is one of humanity's oldest magical techniques. It is one of the oldest technologies in existence. Rhythm, vibration, word, breath, all of these things combine into an emotionally charged container, a charged experience. So whether you are someone who doesn't work with the craft at all, or whether you do work with witchcraft, whether you do folk magic, energy work, kind of spiritual work, songs are spells that harness energy, intent, emotion, and repetitiveness to effect change, whether that is an internal change or an external change. So here is going to be a breakdown of why and how some songs are spells. And I have several examples, several songs that we are going to be going through that are very dear to me in one way or another. So we'll go through those. So at the root of any type of spell work is intention. Intention is a clear, energetic desire or a command. So when a songwriter puts emotion, storytelling, and deliberate phrasing into a song with an outcome in mind, so whether that's healing, revenge, love, empowerment, that song becomes a spell through sound. So even if the original artist did not mean it to be a spell, the listener can adopt it as one by infusing it with their own personal intent. Side note, not every song is going to be a spell. There are ridiculous songs that mean absolutely nothing, that are just little earworms. So you don't have to believe, is she truly saying every single song that exists is a spell? No, I am not. I am Certainly not. I can think on the top of my head quite a number of songs that definitely would not be considered a spell. I'm not going to get into it because I don't think we have the time. To be honest, I don't have the desire. So let's talk about how the words, the lyrics in a song hold power. So this is a very ancient magical understanding. The witches, the spiritual guides that came before us, they all knew this. Incantations are rhythmic spoken spell. Rhythmic spoken spell. Incantation, aka song. Mantras are sacred sound formulas. Affirmations are modern spell statements. If you sang the mantra, it would do the exact same thing. So lyrics function the exact same way. So especially when they use a first person voice, I am, I will be. If they declare an outcome or they declare identity shifts, if they speak directly to spirit, deity, or past lovers, or they repeat phrases like any sort of phrase for a reinforcement, kind of like a chant. So for an example, some of these examples, I swear, I had to come up with what I wanted as examples. I really had to pare this down. So one of the examples for an empowerment spell through repetition and declaration is the song Survivor by Destiny's Child. So they say it repeatedly over the course of that song. I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. That is such a huge, huge, huge boost of energetic power for that self-empowerment, specifically for female self-empowerment. So repeating that over and over and over is essentially a mantra. And as we sing it, as we sing along as listeners, we are part of that mantra. That's why sometimes we feel better after we have a little singing car ride, right? You sang along to the songs in the car, as long as they weren't completely depressing like Adele songs, you'd feel better. Or you feel better after like a karaoke thing, like fun, you had fun at karaoke, awesome, but you've put energy into these songs, therefore they're pulling energy back to you. In any energy work in spellcasting, vibration moves energy. So music also does this. It moves energy physically and emotionally. So, for example, and all of these examples raise, shift, or release energy. A drum that is used in trance, right? A bells generally clear energy, and they also clear any sort of stale energy that is going to be around a particular intention. A clap, a chant, these usually cast out spirits. A song with the right tempo and the right progression can shift your vibration, it can raise power, or it can ground you. So repetition equals ritual. Songs tend to repeat hooks, they repeat choruses, they repeat phrases. This is identical to chanting spells or invocations in ritual. So repetition always builds energy. It creates a trance state. It embeds intention within the body and the mind. That's why singing the same song over and over again can lead to a mood shift, memory flashes, shaking, crying, dancing. These are all signs of energetic movement, signs of the spell working. So magic is not just about ingredients. It is about energetic investment, if you will. So songs tap into the deep reservoirs of emotional truth. So emotional truth is a pure, undistilled power. So songs of heartbreak become chord spells or grief work. Songs of rage tend to become baneful or protective spells. Songs of joy, hope, those can manifest new realities, new beginnings. So, one of my favorite quotes from Florence Welch, she's the singer from Florence and the Machine. She said, "Music is the only thing that works for me, and that's how I exercise." Exercise as in EXORCISE. That is spell work. That is intentional lyrical spell work done by a practicing witch. So many different musicians are witches, or they're intuitively magical beings, even if they don't call themselves that or they identify themselves as that. So, a few different artists that we can kind of pin on this would be, like I said, Florence Welsh, Florence the Machine, Stevie Nicks, big one, Bjork, FKA Twigs, Lana Del Rey is a big one, Kate Bush, also a big one, Taylor Swift, also very intuitively magical. So all of these singers, they use symbolism. They use so much symbolism in their lyrics. So things like mirrors, water, blood, spirit. They do a lot of invocation, which is speaking directly to an unseen force or to past lovers. And some of them do embodied performances, which would be like trance-like dancing, eye contact, breath work during a song. That's going to lean more towards Bjork, but same thing. So we're certainly not alone. There are intentional, very popular musicians that just don't outwardly identify themselves as magical. Probably for the best. So you can use songs as spells, even if they weren't written that way, even if they were not written by someone who knew they were magical at all. So you become the spellcaster when you start to bring your own intention and your action to listening to the song. So you can charge a candle, a bath, an altar with the song playing, right? Listen to the song while you are doing this. You can dance the spell, dance when the song is playing, let your body sort of cast its own intent. You can use the lyrics as affirmations or invocations. So you can sing a lyric over and over and over and over, scream it. You can pair the song, like listen to the song deliberately during specific moon phases. You can play the song while you are burning, while you're doing any sort of cleansing or burying or any enchantment. Let's do one example by like Taylor Swift. So Shake It Off. That song is terrible, by the way. I really do not like I do not like that song, but I can respect the ritual work behind it. Song is a very clear energetic cleansing and an aura shaking off any sort of negative, stale emotion off the aura. So, real examples that I'm going to go into for spells as invocations. We're going to do one by Fleetwood Mac, so Stevie Nicks. I do have a Taylor Swift song for this as an example. It's not Shake It Off. Don't worry. I could not put anyone through that. We have Halsey. I know I have one about Halsey. And then there is one for Florence and the Machine. So let me go into my examples. But final thoughts on this. Music is a living spell. So every time you cry to a song, every time you dance through rage, or sing along to something that does give you chills or that resonates with you, remember that you're moving energy. You are doing spell work. You're doing kind of passive spell work. So you don't need candles or herbs to cast magic. If your voice is vibrating with the truth, if it is speaking with intent or sound, music can be a grief ritual. It can be sex magic. It can be a protection circle. It can be so many different things. A heartbreak purge. It could be cord cutting, a calling in sort of spell, depending on how you listen and depending on how you move with the spell. So I'm going to start with my first example, which is probably the most well-known example. Like this is brought up continuously, constantly, in like witchy groups online. So the song is Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac. So it was written and sung by Stevie Nicks. So already intent very, very potent here. So it's one of the most emotionally potent love spells I've ever heard. It's kind of like a love spell gone wrong, actually. So it functions kind of as a love/revenge spell. So it's a heart binding, and it's kind of like a declaration of undying presence in a life. So this is not like a sweet goodbye. Oh, I loved you. I'm grateful for the time we had together. No, this is not a goodbye song. This is like an eternal tethering song. Is it the most healthy of energetic pulls? No. But I mean, it is what it is. This is done through the power of voice, will, and her emotion. So let's break down a bit how Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac works as a spell. Because I think if you understand how these things work, it might start influencing how you think about songs as you listen to them. So there is a lyric. The lyric is, "You could be my silver spring, blue-green colors flashing." So the metaphor of Silver Springs is a water energy. Springs are known as like sources of life. So water equals spirit. Water equals emotional power in the craft. So she's offering herself as a source of this love, as a source of this emotional pool, but it's conditional. So there's the part in the song where the binding begins. So the lyric is, "You will never get away from the sound of the woman that loves you." This is the spell's anchoring line. She is declaring in this lyric, "I will haunt you." This is not supposed to be a metaphor. This is energetic anchoring, and I guarantee you Stevie Nicks was very, very intentional about the wording of this. This is a psychic imprint. She is speaking it, singing it, sends it to the ether, into the ether with this. So it is a vow. It's a magical invocation that becomes reality. So the chorus in this song does repeat, like a lot of songs do, like an incantation. "You will never get away. You could be my silver springs." So just this repetition, again, it cements the intent. So the more emotionally charged and focused, the more effective a spell becomes. And her delivery in this is insane. Like, she has a very, very grieving/wrathful version or tone of her voice in this. It's all like entwined and braided together to create this like very strong signature of emotionally cast magic. In the lyric, which might be my favorite lyric from the song, it says, "Time casts a spell on you, but you won't forget me." She is naming time as one of her fellow spellcasters, but she claims that her magic is actually stronger than time. This is a hex of remembrance. It's a slight curse. It's not like this, "Oh my gosh, I'm cursing your name and I hope everything in your life is, shit." That's not what she's saying. She's putting this out there to where the memory of her will always haunt the back of his head. This man had no chance ever. He did not have a chance with this. He really didn't. Lindsey Buckingham probably, with the emotion tied into this song, I would be shocked if he did not think about her at least once a day for the rest of his life. Period. So she starts with the line that is a curse, but it's disguised as heartbreak. It's not meant to be recognized as a curse. "I know I could have loved you, but you wouldn't let me." So she's shifting from hurt to the accusation. So the accusation is what's fueling the spell. She's not asking for healing with this. She's demanding that she be remembered. She's refusing to be erased in his mind, in his heart. This is holding the energy of more of a vengeful spirit than any sort of grieving lover. Yes, she's grieving at this time, but the energy in this line is way more vengeful than it would be if she was only writing it from a sad place. Now there is a very haunting line. It's literal. You would, if you looked at the lyrics without me saying this, you'd be able to tell what the haunting line is. So the lyric is, "I'll follow you down till the sound of my voice will haunt you." This is literal haunting language. So she's claiming an astral proximity. So not physical stalking, but she is claiming soul level imprinting. This is what witches tend to mean. So when we say someone has like energetic hooks, energetic ties, or there's a cord still attached between energies, that's what she's doing. She is tethering that cord from her to him and basically strengthening it to the point where it can never leave. He'll never be able to break it. So Stevie Nicks is very famously mystical. Her performances do double as rituals. So if you watch the live version of Silver Springs, especially the version from the 1997 reunion, which I think this version of it must have millions upon millions of views. I need to look it up again. This is one of the most haunting, magical performances I've ever seen. This is a spell that's being cast in real time. I highly encourage you to go to YouTube. Silver Springs 1997. Watch it. You will understand immediately, and you're going to feel the energy as you watch it. Watch her eyes when she's singing "I'll Follow You Down." As she's singing "I'll Follow You Down," and she's specifically looking at Lindsey Buckingham. This is not a song at that moment. This is a consecrated working. So a way that you can use the song Silver Springs in your own spell work. You can use it as a cord binding or revenge love spell. In parentheses, ethical use recommended. I am not recommending baneful work, but I am not recommending. You could also use this as a banishing or a release working. When you're the one who's being haunted. This is not going to work if you're trying to do this for a friend or somebody else. So, as a cord binding / revenge spell, burn a candle while you're playing the song. One color is going to be for you, one color is for them. I want you to sing or mouth the chorus while you focus on the energetic cord between the pair of you. You're going to use visualization to burn, bind, or cut, depending on what the goal is here. And I want you to finish by writing on paper. You could do a bay leaf, but this is too long for a bay leaf. Never mind. Paper. You're going to write, "You will never get away from the sound of the woman who loved you," or the man who loved you. I want you to seal it with wax. Drip a couple things from wax, seal it up, and then you're going to burn it. You're either going to burn it or you're going to bury it. One or the other, whatever works. And then as a banishing working, play the song as you journal about what cords need to be cut between you. Let the song run in its entirety. So you're going to feel the power and you're going to reclaim it. So listen to the entire song. Then you're going to light either white or black candles and you're going to repeat, "Your spell is broken. I return your voice to you." So those are some examples of how you can use this song. So my final thought about this one is that it is a classic witch heartbreak spell. It's a cutting, eternal, beautiful invocation. So it helps to teach us that magic that is born of pain can actually be transformative. It can be binding, but it depends on how we use it. Another example that I wanted to use was from Florence and the Machine, because I have to do one by her. She's one of the most magical entertainers alive today. So the song that I really like the most of hers as a spell is her song called "Shake It Out." So "Shake It Out" functions as a cleansing and banishing spell, both in the emotional delivery and her lyrical structure. So let's break it down just a bit. The structure, the intention behind this is banishment and emotional purge. So this is the lyric. "I am done with my graceless heart, so tonight I'm going to cut it out and then restart. So Florence is setting very clear intention here. She's not just expressing how she feels, she is declaring a release. So naming the graceless heart is like identifying what must be cut out in that banishing spell. Another lyric is, "It's hard to dance with the devil on your back, so shake him off." This is literal spell language. The devil that she's talking about is not Satan. She's talking about the shadow or an attachment or a trauma. And then shake him off is the act of removing, banishing, or unbinding yourself from the devil, from shadow, attachment, trauma. Very important. So this song also does a lot of repetition, lots of incantations. This is going to mirror chanting, building energetic momentum, reinforcing the command. So it's shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. She says it multiple times. So she's not asking for the energy to go. She is telling the energy it's got to go. So every chorus is a surge of spellcasting power through the potency of her sound and her breath. And then there's an element of shadow integration to this one, and purification. The lyric is, "It's always darkest before the dawn," which is a common phrase. It's not uncommon. I've heard that multiple places over the course of my life. So this is a timeless, magical phrase. It is a transformation coming after darkness. This is sort of like the main philosophy behind shadow work, death, rebirth cycles, phases of the moon. Phases of the moon are heavily tied to this sort of quote. So she's using this knowledge like a witch times a spell. Do it at the dark moon, waiting for dawn. The lyric, "I've been a fool and I've been blind. I can never leave the past behind." She acknowledges here the wound, which is the first step in any authentic spell. So she's naming the burden before she's demanding its release. And then there is actual ritual action that she writes about in the lyrics. The lyric is, "I'm always dragging that horse around. Tonight, I'm going to bury that horse in the ground." This is symbolic ritual. So the horse that she's talking about could represent grief, regret, shame. So what is she doing? She's burying it. This is graveyard magic. This is an ancestral type closure. It's like a personal catharsis done via energetic burial. It's very important. I love this song so much. It is such a fantastic example for this topic. Oh my gosh. So her energy work, specifically in her voice, in her tone. Florence delivery in 99.9% of her songs is fierce. It is breathy. It's a desperate sound. It's a triumphant sound. It is an emotional purge in and of itself before you even look at the lyrics. So when she sings intentionally, this song can help open the heart chakra. It can raise your vibration. It can break up stagnant emotional energy. This song can work as a sonic energetic cleanse or an aura detox. So using this song as a ritual, you can use it in 3 different ways. You can use it as a banishing spell. So you'd write whatever you're releasing on paper, burn or bury it as the song plays. I want you to dance and move your body while you're singing because you're going to shake off spiritual debris at the same time. Okay? Clean your space while blasting it. That doesn't mean that you have to literally clean up your house, although that would be good. That would be really good for the energy, actually, but you don't have to. I'm more talking about imagining the air around you as you dance, as you listen, clearing and cleansing itself. You could also use this song as a moon ritual. So you can use it, usually like this would be during like a dark moon or a waning moon phase. Pair it with obsidian, tourmaline, or onyx, and then do whatever emotional ritual you're planning to do. This is kind of like a prep for that. You could also use it as a self-forgiveness spell. So you're going to use it as part of a bathing ritual. You can cry, you can scream, shout, sing, let the lyrics move through you. Feel every beat of that drum, feel every syllable she speaks. So Florence has called her music devotional. She's called it spiritual devotion, and it is entirely true. So Shake It Out is a prime example. It is not just a song. It is a sonic exorcism, and it is a spell of liberation. So I was very excited to be able to discuss that one a little bit. I have two more examples. The next example I wanted to talk about is, I don't actually know how popular the song is. It might be. It's Control by Halsey. This is a very intense song. It functions like a shadow spell. It's a binding spell. It's reclaiming of personal power, reclaiming of autonomy, especially for those people who do feel quite dominated or taken over by their inner demons, or struggle with their mental health or ancestral trauma. The song lyrics to this read like a ritual of invocation and like a command ritual. So, and her delivery is feral in this song. It's fierce. It is unapologetically magical. It is a very, very magically attuned song. So let me unpack just a little bit about why this actually is a spell and why I believe this is an intentional spell. So this is an invocation of the shadow self. The lyric is, "They send me away to find them a fortune, a chest filled with diamonds and gold." So this opening line is referencing a spiritual quest or spiritual exile, which is very common in literary myth, fiction. Like the chosen one is sent out to retrieve something sacred or to retrieve something dangerous. This is actually a setup to a later line. It's a setup for an underworld initiation or a dark goddess or a shadow invocation. So the line is, "I'm meaner than my demons. I am bigger than these bones." This is the core spell line. This is the binding and domination spell over her personal inner darkness. She is declaring mastery over the things that haunt her as she sings this. So there is an element of fear in this binding work. So the lyric is, "And all the kids cried out, 'Please stop, you're scaring me. I can't help this awful energy.'" So here the awful energy she's talking about is a personified force. She's personifying her power, her rage, her trauma. And the spell is working by naming and owning the energy. So she's refusing to suppress it just to make other people feel more comfortable. This is a baneful reclamation magic. It's not meant to harm others, but it is meant to affirm her sovereignty. So affirm her autonomy by personifying it. And then her tone and delivery. She has a very distinct voice. Her tone in this sounds like a ritual possession. If you listen, her voice starts to shift through whispers. There are explosions of rage. There's a very controlled melody. It's mimicking the process of invoking a spirit, starting to channel it, asserting dominance. So think of it as a summoner who's like invoking a demon or demonic energy, if you will, just a darker energy, not to banish it, but to bend it to her will. This is like a command and compel sort of spell. She's doing it to herself with herself. Some of the symbolic spell work, the energy signatures in this, so she mentions bones, demons, gold, energy, and ghosts. So these are ritualistic symbols, symbolizing ancestors, wealth, fear, spirit. Her beat and her voice combined, they almost lend themselves to a trance state. So it starts to pull the listener into a personal confrontation with inner demons. It's baneful, but it is healing energy ultimately. This is not an evil spell, but it is meant to be cathartic. It's raw. It's necessary emotional release. So if you are interested in using this song in spell work, you can use it as a shadow spell ritual. So you can burn a black candle, burn white candle, write a list of any fears or traumas that you're trying to dominate. You're not trying to erase them, but you're trying to kind of, get power over. You're going to play the song while you read each one aloud, ending with, I'm meaner than my demons. I am bigger than these bones. You're going to seal the ritual with breathing or clapping to bind the spell. You could also use it as a binding or protection work. So you could sing or play the song while you weave string or you knot cord. You can focus on binding your fear or any intrusive thoughts, external judgment even, and store the cord in a jar with any sort of protective herb. So you could do rosemary, pepper would be fine, maybe lemongrass. You could also use this song as a dark moon self-reclamation spell. Dancing alone to the song. So dancing alone with intent and kind of letting your body express all the chaos. And then you're going to sit in silence after this is done and mentally claim your body again. Feel your body and claim it as yours. So about control, it's not about peace. This is about power and truth. She's not trying to quiet her shadows. She's not trying to get rid of them necessarily. She's just trying to command them. That's what makes this a spell. So she's taking that like untamed chaos and transforming it into a weapon of her choosing. She's changing it to be a shield for her, to be a crown or a trophy for her. And then the last of the examples I wanted to use is actually my favorite one. So I'm a really big Taylor Swift fan. I really, really appreciate her lyricism. And knowingly or not, she is very much a witch. The song The Prophecy, which was on her last album, Tortured Poets Department. The Prophecy is one that's kind of near and dear because I do have a close friend that used this song actually as kind of like I say a begging spell, but it was a love spell that did end up coming true extremely quickly after it was performed. So that's why I did want to mention this one specifically, because I know the power this one has already because I've seen it happen. I've seen it work. So the prophecy operates kind of like a spell through deliberate use of the invocation, the symbolic language that Taylor's writing about. It's very emotionally intense, and it has a very ritualistic structure. So the song has a very direct appeal to a higher power. The lyric is, "Please, I've been on my knees, change the prophecy." So this plea is mirroring invocation and spell work. So she's calling upon divine or universal force, source, God, goddess, whatever you want to call that, to alter a predetermined fate. So to alter what's meant to be, can you please change it? Can you please change it? Because I don't like where this is headed. The repetition of please and the imagery of being on her knees is emphasizing how sincere this request is. Like, she's not just begging, she has thrown herself to the ground begging. So making herself small in order to show that she is very, very serious and quite desperate about this. There are several mythological references in the song and the symbolism. So she weaves very rich symbolism throughout. One of the lyrics is, "I got cursed like Eve got bitten," which is referencing Eve, the biblical story of Eve, which symbolizes a fall from grace or being burdened by knowledge. So these types of references, in my opinion, they kind of, they denote like a deeper understanding of her circumstances, or a deeper desire to transcend, to overcome the current situation. And then there's another line which, if it wasn't clear already, pings Taylor Swift as a witch without any question. And the lyric is gathered with a coven around a sorceress table. So she's invoking the imagery of a ritual gathering with a coven, aka just performing a group spell. The setting that she's invoking is kind of bringing up that communal aspect of trying to seek change through metaphysical means. So I'm doing everything by the book, by the rules of my group and my coven and my world, and I am trying to plead with that energy. It's a very emotionally intense, very vulnerable song. So the depth of this emotion does serve as the energetic force behind this spell. So the lyric is, I'm so afraid I sealed my fate, no sign of soulmates, I'm just a paperweight in shades of grayish. So these lines do express like profound fear. Fear of staying still, staying the same, unfulfilled destiny, unfulfilled emotion, an empty love life. In spell work, this type of raw emotion is channeled to fuel intention. This makes this plea even more potent than it would be. And the chorus does function as a chant, like a lot of them do. It's very, very common in spells to reinforce that desired outcome. So the lyric, change the prophecy, don't want money, just someone who wants my company. So the repeated desire for companionship over wealth. So she's asking for somebody who gets her, who will stay by her. She doesn't care about any more money. She just wants that partnership. This is highlighting the very specific intention of the spell, and it focuses the energy on altering what she believes to be her current personal destiny. So the structure of this song as a ritual is she's acknowledging her current state, recognizing the patterns of heartbreak that she's been through. She's invoking and calling upon higher powers to intervene on her behalf. She's expressing a desire of change, so she's very clearly stating what she wants changed in her life. There is an emotional release simply by being vulnerable, sounding vulnerable. The words are quite vulnerable. This is amplifying the spell. And then there is a closing. So by closing, she's returning to the initial state where we began, but the intention is set and released. I believe the last of the lines, the last word is please. Like please, like it cuts it off. Like that's right there. That's kind of bookmarks it. So, I mean, in essence, the prophecy kind of encapsulates the essence of a spell by combining all of these things, the symbolic resonance, the intention, a structure, the transformative energy that's at work here. So whether or not she did intend this to be a spell, personal opinion, she did intend this to be a spell, and I do actually believe that it worked for her as a spell. This song does serve as a modern incantation for people who are trying to rewrite their destiny. And then, again, speaking as somebody with a close friend who did use this song to pull in that love that she'd been craving, it works quite well. Those are my examples. Those are just 4 quite simple examples that I wanted to bring to the table about how songs can be very, very useful as magical workings. I hope that you learned some from this. If you have any suggestions or want to delve deeper into this, which I think I delved pretty deep into it, but if there's anything that you would like to ask or request that we discuss further, please let me know. You can email me, go to our website, send me a quick message. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening to this bonus episode of Witchy Ways for Modern Days. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Blessed be, fellow witches. So mote it be.